Welcome back to my little mini-series called Unlocking Your Fretboard, where we're trying to learn more about the fretboard of the guitar and where the notes are and how to use them. We are gonna build upon the exercise that we did the last video. If you want to check the last video out, it's in a link up here. And basically what we did was we played C, F and G all over the neck. So that was the first three chords. Now we have C, F, G, C, F, G, and then it repeats. So we're gonna build upon that, but today we're gonna deal with dominant 7 chords. And let's first discuss what is a dominant 7 chord and what separates it from a regular major chord. Well, a regular major chord consists of the root, the 1, the 3rd, and the 5th. A dominant 7 chord consists of those 3 exact same notes, but you add the flat 7. If you add the major 7, then of course it's a major 7 chord. If you add the flat 7, it's a dominant 7 chord. And the chord in this C, F, G progression that you usually make into a 7 chord is the G. You normally make that into a G7 to lead you back to C. And you can of course just add the 7th note or the flat 7 note to a chord, which will, if we build upon the exercise, will lead you to add a 4th note of a chord. But for this exercise I really want to try to stick to 3 notes, because I think it's really handy to move around these kind of small chord shapes instead of great big ones. Of course you can take G7 like that or like that. They are great useful chords for some things, but I want to focus on maybe say this one. This is also G7, or this one, or there are a lot of different ways to take it to find a G7 chord. What you want to do if you want to stick to three notes is whichever chord shape you want to use. Let's start with this one out of the regular G bar shape. You either want to lower the root 2 frets, or you want to raise the 5th 3 frets. This chord is the 3rd, 5th, and the root. So either lower the root, that's a dominant 7 chord, or raise the 5th, that's a dominant 7 chord. And you can do this with all the chord shapes. Let's take the next one here. Here's another little G shape or G chord. This is the 5th, the root, and the 3rd of a G in that order. So same rules apply here. Either take the 5th, raise it up 3 frets. That will lead to a G7 chord, dominant 7, or take the root, lower it 2 frets. That will also give you a G dominant 7 chord. And next, or the final shape here out of these 3 possible shapes here on the lowest or the thinnest strings. This is out of the A-shaped G chord here. This chord consists of the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. So the root, 2 frets down, and that will give you a dominant 7 chord. Or the 5th, that will give you a dominant 7 chord, just 3 frets up. So that is the basic principle, how to make any of the shapes into a dominant 7 chord. So you can start by just doing that exercise. Let's take the same exercise we did last video. C here, F, closest F shape, next closest G shape, then make it into one of the dominant 7 voicings, and then C. C, F, G, G7, C. C, F, G, G7, C. That's a great exercise. What we can also do is, because if we just think of the movement, what a dominant 7 chord does, it takes you up, it leads you up a fourth, basically. But you can also use that leading from the root to the 4 chord. Because, as I said, the dominant 7 chord leads you up a fourth. Meaning, if we are in C, the 4 chord will be F. So, that means we can play a C, C7, leading to F. So, C, regular C chord, make it into a 7, and to an F. And then G, G7, back to C. It's the same kind of movement. You can probably hear it. Whether or not you really understand the what do you say, the theory behind it, doesn't really matter. If you can hear it, you'll hear that it's right. Your ear is kind of steered towards the next chord. So that's a great exercise to do if you make the C into C7 to F, and then move the F up to a G, then make it into 7, back to C. Regular C, C7 to an F, G, G7, C. Let's take the final part here too. C, C7, F, F, no, I mean G, G7 into C. And you can do that on all string sets if you want to. You can expand upon that. But that's basically the concept that I wanted to share with you this week. And the next week we're gonna take it even further and I think we're gonna start discussing diminished chords and what we can do with those. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions, or I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.